Now we're going to crack into the top 5. The first game of the top 5 is a very recent game. It came out in 2010. But I can honestly say, apart from Pokemon Yellow and a couple other games that are higher up in the list, I don't think I've ever put a single amount of time or a single amount of playthroughs into one game. I've talked about this game a lot because I've just been addicted to it, and I honestly think it's one of my favorite games of all time. And if you would have asked me a year ago if this game would have been anywhere near my top 10 games of all time, I'd have told you no. It's really testament to how I've grown and evolved as a gamer since I've been on YouTube. A year ago, this would have been a game I would have never touched. I would have never gone anywhere near, just for blindly hating. And I've changed a lot as a gamer. And first, it's Fallout New Vegas. I was tempted to put Fallout 3, but honestly, I've been a lot more addicted and interested in New Vegas, though I love both of the games for entirely different reasons. New Vegas was the one that earned the spot in my list. The customization, the story, the different factions, the exploration. I mean, you can go online and go to the Fallout wiki and just get lost on that site for hours just learning about shit in this game. I mean, it's a beautiful game. I mean, I do understand that it is so glitchy and it is so bug-ridden, and I hate that. It makes me so furious at Bethesda and Obsidian, and just makes me want to destroy them. But in the end, I mean, I have to forgive them because they put together such a awesome game in every other regard, and I'm really hoping that with their new engine that we get a new Fallout game that is going to kick some major ass. Number 4 is also a shooter. People who know me will also know I talk about this game a lot. There's actually a couple other installments to this game. They released some episodes to it, and I don't have physical copies of the episodes, but I am including it and the 2 episodes as one spot. That's Half-Life 2. This is the G-Man box art, which is the one I'm glad I got. I don't play the PC version. The Steam code for this was already used. I bought this for $0.25. I played it on the orange box, but what... I told you we were going to be talking about an atmosphere game, and when I was talking about Okami. This game, I will tell you one word. Ravenholm. Atmosphere. Motherfucking Ravenholm. That part of the game is just... There's so few enemies, but the way they put them, the way the atmosphere, the way the level design flows, you're literally like just jumping like all fucking time. You're like, you got your gun, you just go around a corner, like, oh fucking shit, and just all of the, you get a sense of grandiose and extravagance, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful game. I mean, and I wish Valve would quit being cock teases and give us episode 3, but oh my god, I mean, this game trumps the original game in every single way. If you had not played Half-Life 2, if you have not, it should be illegal for you to be a gamer. I honestly felt like that before I'd played this game, like after I played this game, I felt like I had come of age as a gamer. Like, I feel like my gaming balls had dropped once I finally played this game. It's literally what makes you a gamer, I think. And that's some interesting terminology there. Now we're getting into the top 3. Oddly enough, number 3 is the 3rd game in a franchise. And, well, the best game in the franchise. Devil May Cry 3. This year's a special edition. I had played Devil May Cry 1 a little bit. I never actually beat it back in the day. I've beaten it now, but I never beaten it back in the day because I was pissed off at Triangle's jump. But I did play the 2nd game, and I absolutely love Devil May Cry 2. It gets so much hate. Most of it is unwarranted. It's a decent game. It's not nearly as good as this one or the 4th one. It's a lot better than the first one. But yeah, Devil May Cry 3, all the different styles, the inclusion of Virgil, who's one of the most badass antagonists ever in a video game. It's just such psychotic gameplay, and It's one of the few games I've beaten on every difficulty. I've beat this game on easy, I've beat it on medium, I've beat it on hard, I've beat it on very hard, I've beat it on Dante Must Die, I've beaten it on Heaven or Hell. I've done both of that with Virgil. I've even beaten the Bloody Palace with both characters. It's just such a great game, and I think, honestly, that you owe it to yourself to play this game if you haven't. Don't even bother going for the regular edition. Get the special edition. Playing as Virgil makes it all worth it. Number 2. One of the few Nintendo-published titles in this list, which, if you notice, there's only been one. And this one is for the Nintendo GameCube. And I'm not a big fan of this series. In fact, it's really one of the only games I like in the series, which is really surprising that it would be so high on my list. That is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And, I talked about feeling grandiose in Half-Life 2, which you do. You definitely get a great sense of grandiose and extravagance, but Twilight Princess, it's so bright, and it's so colorful, and it's got the best graphics, hands down, on the GameCube. It looks even better, honestly, than I don't like the Wii version. I think the Wii version, it was a really bad and butchered port. GameCube version is just an amazing game. Classic Zelda, layout. But since I don't really like Zelda, that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't bother me that it's 3 easy dungeons, something, and then all the main dungeons. That doesn't bother me. All the get an item, use it in the dungeon. That stuff doesn't bother me because I'm not a big Zelda fan. I just enjoy the games, and honestly, this, in terms of story, just the most fun items, the ball and chain, the fucking spinner, all that is just so much fun, and it's just a great game. I mean, the boss battle, the final boss battle is not the greatest, but it's Zelda. I mean, it's such a fun game. And most people can probably guess my number 1. I probably don't even have to say it. It's always going to be my number 1 favorite game of all time. I've never played a game I've loved more. I don't think I ever will, honestly. And I need to get an original copy of it, but Sonic Adventure for Sega Dreamcast. Who didn't see it coming? I don't know what else to say about this game other than it's perfect. And that in itself is a bold statement. This is a perfect video game for me. That's my opinion. One of the greatest, the greatest soundtrack of all time. The music, if you listen to Emerald Coast Act 1, which is called Azure Blue World, it makes you shit yourself. It's so good. It's just such a great soundtrack. All the character themes, like Knuckles and Sonic's theme and Tails, Believe in Myself. One of my favorite songs of all time. That song would literally be in a favorite songs of all time for me, and it's from game. This game is something that can always put a smile on my face every time I play it. I own every iteration of this game. I will never stop buying iterations of this game. I own it on everything it's ever been released for. It's just such a goddamn good game. I love the story. It's really over the top, but in a hilariously nonsensical way. I love all the different characters' playing styles. The game, honestly, isn't that glitchy. You can't call this game a glitchy game. Poor collision detection, it's there sometimes, but honestly, you usually have to go out of your way to get stuck to something. And the only version I've ever really fallen through the levels on is on the GameCube version, which isn't a very good port. That one I fell through levels a lot in, but I've never fallen through the world on the original Dreamcast version. It's just such a great and beautiful game. And, that was my top 10 favorite games of all time, so let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Probably not. Do you hate me and think I'm an idiot for putting Sonic Adventure in my number 1 game of all time above Half-Life 2, Fallout, Grand Theft Auto, Okami, and Zelda? You probably do think I'm an idiot for that. But if you don't, even if you do, comment below. I will gladly read your comments, and I will get back to you on that, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. So take care. Spike your hair. Thumbs up if you get the reference.